Hi, my name is Francois. I'm a co-founder at brandCrowder. We're an equity crowdfunding platform for branded franchise deals. We are alumni of Blue Startups, Tetris's accelerator in Honolulu, Hawaii. We're alumni of QC FinTech, Charlotte's accelerator, or Bank of America sponsored accelerator in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're also a 2016 Top 50 Finovate US FinTech startup. So our team is Robert Armiak, who's our CEO, former treasurer of Alliance Data Systems, who led their IPO in 2001. EJ Onosa, who is a successful capital markets entrepreneur with an exit. Will Fobbs, who's our CTO, and Francois. I have a background in regulatory and compliance and franchise development. So what is brandCrowder? brandCrowder is about investing in franchises. And these are the top 50 capitalizing franchises last year in the United States. They capitalized at a rate of $793 billion last year. And the entire sector produced $493 billion in services. So how are franchises sold today? They're basically sold through personal relationships and associations and specialty brokers, or literally sometimes just dumped on business opportunity websites or even Craigslist. There's also an industry that's arisen out of financing franchises, whether it's acquisitions or new franchises, through the personal IRA or the ROBs, and that has attracted some market practices that have led to prospective franchisees overextending themselves and overcommitting themselves in terms of their asset portfolio. There's also a go-to-market strategy by leveraging the SBA loan programs, but that's only worked for really top-tier and mature brands. The SBA hasn't figured out how to use it for emerging brands yet. So how we acquire franchises, we approach the usual suspects, the Wall Street banks, to create a book-running fund. We purchase franchises at scale in large unit blocks, say 100 or more, and develop operating businesses to manage those franchises at scale so they're profitable and de-risked. We use a platform. We intend to approach FIS to enter into their community banking SaaS suite to provide crowdfunding as a service through the community banks. We've got a crowdfunding platform engine from Funderbuilt and a back end that's dedicated to this space, meaning equity crowdfunding in Phineas. We also look at the data APIs. FranData actually it did not have an API before we approached them to create one, and D&B approached us to do a specialized custom data API for this subsegment of the market. We've been able to develop tools through our ecosystem. We've either started the companies or been introduced to the companies through our ecosystem. So Find Bob is a succession planning tool that we're going to retool for the franchise market. Hedgehog is a company we started, which is a risk management or risk assessment engine for prospective investors to see if they qualify to make the franchise investment. And PCFS Solutions, for instance, is a loan originator platform. We've also got in our ecosystem Alto, which is a self-directed IRA origination platform, and specialty brokers and custodians that are interested or dedicated to the alternative asset space. So the market opportunity is large. The total capitalization of the market is well over $12 trillion. It capitalizes at $770 billion a year. That's $493 billion in services, what he said, and about $24 billion in churn every year. So we do this on a platform. We provide, there it is, direct investments in franchising. We provide a search bar functionality and other tools to facilitate groups of people coming on board and investing in franchises, making the franchise investment more passive. So people can come onto the platform and submit deals. We analyze the deals, we underwrite the deals, and in the top portion of deals, we actually give an invest button, an invest now button. Anyone can come on board and syndicate on our platform, but we're curating the best deals in various types of opportunities. So there's a tier 1 mature debt offering for Wendy's. There's a tier 2 multi-unit scale development for Pi 5, and there's some new and emerging brand, as well as a roll-up of dollar stores, each of them getting an Invest Now button. You can also come onto our platform and syndicate a deal. If you have your own deal, we're not going to stop you from presenting your syndicate ideas, and if they're the right ideas, we'll promote them on our site. There's all kinds of things you can do in terms of raising capital in this space. We conceptualize a global franchise development impact fund as a financial inclusion play. So we have some pre-launch traction. We sourced about $453 million in deal flow. We think we can get at least to $20 million a year in additional deal flow, and we've sourced or soft-circled some commitments for some debt players on our platform. We're looking for an equity player to lead the book-running fund so we can make the large-scale acquisitions. We have been able to underwrite deal flow on the platform and have explored distribution channels with conversion rates that we think are north of 11%. So the point of franchising as a sector is that it monetizes the goodwill of a brand and traditionally, sort of consistently, outperforms other indices in other sectors by at least 10%. So what we've been building is the brandCrowder ecosystem. These are companies we started to support what brandCrowder needs to do, and relationships we built with other companies through accelerators. At this point, the team has attended at least 4 accelerators, 2 in financial, 3 in the fintech and financial market space, 1 in the technology space, Blue Startups. We have strategically started companies to develop relationships with the University of Michigan Computer Science Department and Engineering to do rapid prototyping for us. We've tapped the Finovate ecosystem through QC Fintech. VC Fintech funded our risk engine, and we then plugged through them into the FIS community banking system, as well as a company called Alto IRA to do the IRA investments, self-directed IRA investments. We started a company called Reshore that's been backed by 14 global financial companies, large ones, and sourced a deal with FindBob to retool their business succession engine and bring it into our ecosystem, as well as developed a deal with GapPro, which is blockchain infrastructure. We cross-seeded our platform with a company called Seglos, which is a cryptocurrency market exchange, and Bob has the connection to the Alliance Data ecosystem, and Viridian, which is a franchise development company that we started, brought relationships to the IFA and Fran Data. So the team is symbiotic, cross-pollinated across several sectors and industries that will facilitate bringing the entire ecosystem to the equity crowdfunding space. So in terms of competition, for equity crowdfunding of franchises, some of our competition didn't launch, some of them pivoted to simply consulting. Part of the difficulty was that the ecosystem's not in place, so we spent the last year building out the ecosystem, from originating a book running fund on Wall Street all the way to developing the tools that we're going to need to convert people into alternative investments. So our most closest direct competitor is Appetite Capital. They're venture-backed. Their distribution is to loans and the SBA, so they're not going to be able to scale the way we do. There are sort of generic equity crowdfunding of alternative assets, sort of the aggregators of Innovate and Allflow. They're not going to be significant competition in this sector. It's not going to scale in the sense that they're not going to be able to onboard lots of franchise deals or get any kind of traction within the franchise market. And there are some institutional players, but again, they don't have the strategy to compete in this space or the deal structure. They're tending to now move away from alternatives as part of their offerings. So brandCrowder, there we are. We've got the traction, the scalability, the distribution, and the deal structure to dominate this space, which is equity crowdfunding of franchise deals. So here's a similar ecosystem platform that's led by Union Ventures, which is an equity crowdfunding investment they made in CircleUp, an equity crowdfunding investment they made in a cryptocurrency market exchange, and a micro hedge solution risk engine. All of those capacities we have in terms of both companies in our ecosystem and executives that have those competencies and domain expertise. So how do we make money? Transaction fees, marketing fees, carried interest, assets under management fees, and commission on debt raises. So this is probably a much bigger discussion than this slide probably warrants, but suffice it to say, the blockchain is how we scale. Scale well beyond the 400 million, which normally caps a small investment bank. Gaining insight to data and being able to scale data and verify data in real time on a distributed ledger is how we scale without exponentially increasing costs. So that's brandCrowder. You've seen our demo video, and so these are just some of the screenshots from our demo, and that's it. Thank you very much.